So good evening, everybody. After all of the usual housekeeping that just took place there, sending this live stream out onto Facebook, onto Twitter, well, X, formerly known as Twitter, onto LinkedIn, tagging everybody in the Facebook group, we are ready to talk. We're actually ready to go. How is everybody doing? If you're joining me live, really means the world. Thanks so much for joining me. I do this every single Monday night, 9 p.m. till 2 p.m. Till 2 p.m.? That'd be absolutely ridiculous. 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. if I did it at 9. Oh my God. I know sometimes we do like long live streams on Acts on This for our members with special guests, but I would never do, what would that be? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, about an 18-hour live stream, something like that. I don't do that. Just 1 hour, 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. every single Monday, except bank holidays and Christmas Day. So thank you so much for if you're watching live. If you're watching on the replay, just leave me a hashtag replay in the comments below. Got loads to talk about tonight. Going to be looking behind the scenes of some stuff that's been going on for members of actsonthis.tv. If you're not a member, what are you doing? If you're an actor and you want to get more auditions, you want to work more on TV, come and join the community. Every week we sit down with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors and producers in TV, chewing the fat on how you can have more success. So yeah, come and join the party if you haven't done so already. And then I've got some topics that I've written down just generally and a few video clips that I want to play out. Just to sort of raise people's awareness of certain things. Before I do that, in fact, let's just start. I was going to go over to actsonthis.tv. I'm not even going to do that yet. I can do that in a minute. First thing I want to speak about is just where your focus is right now. As you know from the session, so for members of actsonthis.tv, we held a session with high-performance mindset coach Matt Hall just a few weeks ago. And he said the 3 biggest decisions you can make in your life. And I played this clip out last week. The 3 biggest decisions are these ultimately: what you are focusing on, the meaning you are giving the thing you're focusing on, and then what you are doing because of the meaning you are giving that thing you're focusing on. So I know we touched on this last week, but I just want to hammer it home just one more time briefly. I got a few emails from actors this morning, and one in particular really highlighted this for me. It's from an actress who wanted to shoot some self-tape or showreel material to send off to a casting director because, you know, she wanted to be seen for a show where this character she wanted to film, basically this type of role she wanted to film, comes up a lot, and she is this thing in real life. So she has a genuine skill as a day job in real life that she could film as a piece of showreel material, self-tape or professionally shot, doesn't really matter. If she got that in front of certain casting directors of certain shows, the likelihood is she would get a self-tape for that kind of role because it comes up quite often. But because a couple of other people she's seen in the community have the same idea around the same thing, she was already talking herself out of doing it by saying, oh, well, what if they send it in before me, or, you know, they don't do a great job and like it annoys a casting director and then they see my email, because they didn't enjoy what's been sent through before it, they might not even look at my email. All of this fortune telling, this negative stacking that is so easy to do as a human being. Whenever you want to make a decision to do something to push yourself forward, your brain instantly within 5 seconds, we know this from psychology, will try and talk you out of it. It tries to keep you safe. It tries to tell you all of the things that could happen to you, the time you could waste, the money you could spend, the rejection you might get, the failure in your head, whatever failure is for you, that might crop up because of that decision or whatever. And I just wanted to say to her, like, you know, I sent an email back going, look, come on, we've got to focus on the opportunity, not on anything anyone else is doing in the industry, and certainly not on some made-up fortune-telling kind of rejection that you're just projecting way into the future, because you're not going to actually get anything done. By telling yourself what a bad idea this is in the first place means you're just never going to take any action on that thing, and it's that very thing that could actually drive your career forward. So, again, that's what it's a hammer home. Like, think, what are you focusing on? And don't focus, this is the big thing here, on what anyone else is doing. You are not against anybody else in this industry in terms of like, well, you might feel you are, whatever. There is competition, of course there is. That's just, you know, that's the reality of it. But you focusing on what that competition is doing is not going to bring you any steps closer to the thing that you want to do. It's just a waste of time, isn't it? Every second you're spending watching what someone else is doing is a second you could be spending on your own career. You know, if I spent every second of the day focusing on what other acting platforms or services are doing in the acting industry, you know, there's been, over the years, there's been so many sites that have popped up to try and compete with Acts on This. If I was, you know, focusing on all of those, I would have no time to just innovate this product and just make it the best anyway. I have absolutely no fear of anybody else bringing something out in the acting industry try and compete with Acts on This, because I'll just crush them in terms of like the quality of the content they produce. Like, if anything, competition makes me up my game more and more and more. So in a way, it's quite healthy. But don't focus like all your time and energy on what other people are doing, because it's just taking focus away from your own career. So that was just the first thing that I wanted to start with, basically, because I think it's important, you know, where focus goes, energy flows. And wherever you're putting your energy is really important, because you don't have an infinite amount of it. So don't waste it focusing on what other people are doing. It's completely pointless. I couldn't even tell you really what other people in the industry are doing around the sort of stuff that, you know, we do at Acts on This, because I'm just focusing on making our product the best that it can possibly be. Good evening, Jade. Good evening, Zoe. How are you doing? Terry, Jade is in the house as well. Ben's in the house. Caroline is here. Joe is here. Faye is here. Harry is here. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in on Facebook. Let me know what you think of that if you're here live. Like, do you find yourself, if you're not careful, squandering your attention on what other people in the industry are doing, or like scrolling Twitter and just looking for other people who are working and shouting about it, and then it makes you feel bad if you're not? Like, it's just like a rabbit hole of destruction, isn't it? So focus on your yourself. Focus on what you are doing and what you can control. You can't control anybody else. Jay says, hi Ross, hope you're well. Whilst the acting world is quiet, I was just wondering if it's frowned upon for actors to do some of the following side hustles. Jay, the acting industry is not quiet. This is a lie that's being sold to the UK industry as well. We're going to talk about this on our next mastermind session this Thursday for members of Acts on This. We've got an incredible casting director focusing on the video game market. Jessica Jeffries coming in to chat with us about acting in video games. It's only projects that are really sort of where America is at the helm that are affected by any of the SAG-AFTRA strikes or anything like that. The UK industry, Jade, is not quiet. It's really unfortunate if you're part of the UK industry that deals in, you know, the American projects. And there's very few of those. There's not loads. There are a few offices that specialise in those projects, people like Sophie Holland's office. It's a real shame right now because, you know, projects like the Sonic thing, you know, the Knuckles, the Sonic spin-off that I know Sophie was casting, things like The Witcher that Sophie cast. A lot of the big American stuff Sophie, you know, will cast the UK side of. And that's really, really tough because they will have to then, you know, production probably will stop entirely. But there's so much production that's just UK-based with no American actors in it, no American writers in it, and absolutely no affiliation with SAG-AFTRA whatsoever. There's just full steam ahead. You know, I just spoke to Lewis Arnold today, one of the best directors in the country. He's just started a brand new TV show today. Literally today, you know, he had a bad start to the week. There's something happened. I won't tell you about that. Nothing like bad, but just a interesting story around his first day at work. Because Lewis is going to come back on as well on Acts on This to do a session with members in October, and he's bringing. I won't spoil the surprise yet, but he's bringing some incredible names with him. We're talking A-list names as well. We're going to do a round table with Lewis on the 12th of October. I'm not spoiling it yet, though. But he's just gone into, you know, a brand new production today. Dermot Goggins, who we had on 2 weeks ago, great TV director. I've got some clips to play out from him tonight, has just started on a brand new 8-part drama. None of this stuff's being affected that much. But let me see what you were saying. Instead of side hustles, you put like YouTube channels, affiliate marketing, movie skits, Instagram, Amazon affiliate stuff. So you're just looking at other ways to make money. You know, or is it going too far down a video creator route rather than being seen as an actor? No, Jade. Again, this is. I love stuff like this because this is all limiting beliefs as well. What you do on the side, no casting director cares. I promise you, no one is looking at your profiles online and going, Jade's a really great actor. She's just done this cracking self-tape for me for this brand new 6-part drama. But hang on a minute. She's got a YouTube channel talking about affiliate marketing because that's where she makes her money to support her acting career. Oh, I'm not going to give her the job then. Honestly, like, with respect, no one is looking at us no one cares. Like, without sounding horrible, like, no one cares what I'm doing. Like, you know, if I'm right for a job, I just recorded a voiceover demo today for a brand new kids animation. I do a lot of voice acting. If I'm right for that job, I did a really good demo, I think. You know, I've done an awful lot of voice acting, so I think I know what I'm doing by now. And I've sent that off, and my agent was happy with it, and hopefully, you know, I don't know, we'll move from there. But if I get that job, they're not going to go, Ross, you've got a really good demo here. You're perfect. Your voice sounds great for this character. We really want to employ you. But hang on a minute, you run Acts on This, and you basically just do more presenting than acting, pretty much. because you do act on this every day, and you act like, in a project maybe once a month. So 29 days out of the month, you're a presenter. One day you're an actor. Well, actually, we're going to see you more as a presenter. It just doesn't work like that. They don't give a shit what what I'm doing, Jade. They just care about casting the project and bringing the right talent in for the right project. So honestly, like, I love actors having side hustles. I love actors being self-sufficient, not having to rely on this industry for everything. Why would you want to put your entire livelihood, which ultimately plays a massive part in how happy you are as a human, why would you want to put that in the hands of luck or perceived powerful other people? I think it's absolute madness that actors are happy to sit at home waiting for luck to maybe strike, as opposed to going, hang on a minute, I've got loads of transferable skills. My acting ability means that I'm great at talking to people. I can show my personality. I'm a great communicator. Maybe I'm good on camera. I could create a side hustle coaching people in numerous things. I don't know, whatever other hobbies and things that you're passionate about. There's so many transferable skills you have as an actor that you can apply to business. I know people that go out and they help people public speak. They go around corporate businesses, and when, there'll be people who want to get better at presentations. So maybe I know someone who was an actor and went to a marketing company to just coach people on just how to be confident, speaking publicly, so that the people in the marketing company could go to businesses and pitch more effectively. They would go, right, here's my slides. I know all about the industry, but I just don't know how to bring these slides to life and sort of present it in a way that's engaging and interesting. And, maybe I'm a little bit hung up on how I look or how I speak and this sort of stuff. And, I know actor friends who have gone into those kind of businesses, and they've created really successful side hustles, helping, I know they're normal people, like actors aren't normal. I don't think we are normal, to be honest. We're bonkers. But helping people in regular jobs perform ultimately a little bit better when they need to perform, when they need to put on a show, if it isn't a presentation or a sales pitch or something like that. I'm all about it, Jade. So thanks for that question. That's brilliant. Just made me bring up two things. It's not quiet. Don't let people lie to you. If any agents are telling you that it's quiet, they need to work harder, in my opinion. They need to be held accountable as well. It's just the truth. As actors, we've got to hold ourselves accountable. You can't rely on your agent just for everything. You have to be hustling yourself 100%. But I just know so many people who are working. So I wouldn't say it's quiet. It's quiet if you don't know where the work is. And if you don't know where the work is, you need to get better at finding it. Like, just to be brutal, that is just the reality of it. Agents that are just sitting at their desk and just clicking submit on Spotlight, I wouldn't want them as my agent, if I'm honest with you, because you could just do that yourself. Like, you're not going to get access to all the briefs that they're going to get access to, but you want an agent that, is out, has good relationships with casting directors, is meeting casting directors, is, sort of like the person a casting director would get in touch with if they're looking for something specific. Like, it's all about the quality of relationships. And the best agents are the ones that are hustling. They're not just sitting there eating some biscuits, clicking submit on Spotlight. That should be a tiny part of their day. The biggest and the best agents that we've had on actsonthis.tv, not necessarily the biggest, doesn't matter about the size of the agency, just the best agents that I've interviewed in the last 13 years, have all said how the actual submissions part of the day is a pretty small part of the day. The rest of it is, nurturing relationships, seeing people in real life, going to shows sometimes. Obviously, all of the contract side and all the finance side of stuff will take up some time, but it can't all just be about clicking submit. Sometimes people need to drop emails, pick up the phone, work with clients to help them, get their marketing material together, all that sort of stuff. And you should be doing loads of that work yourself as well. So yeah, it's not quiet, and side hustles, I freaking love it. And I don't know, let me know in the chat if you'd be up for us maybe doing a session on side hustles. I'm huge on it. I love actors creating their own businesses. I've created multiple, really decent six-figure businesses over the last 10 years in various niches. Let me know, if that would be something that you'd be interested in. We can't cover everything in like an hour and a half session, but just at least giving people ideas of where they could look and how they could apply their skills to, to certain side hustles that could really get you out of those shit day jobs that a lot of people have to do. I spent what did I spend in the end? No, it's longer than that, wasn't it? How many years did I spend in retail? It was a long time anyway, from 16 till about 30, probably 14 years in retail, before I actually realised, again, that I'd been lied to my whole life. I'd been lying. I was told that actors have to do shit jobs because, that's just what you have to do. You can't take any responsibility on, and you've got to be able to drop your job at a minute's notice for an audition. It's just not true. You're so much more in control of how you earn your money outside of acting than you give yourself credit for, particularly if you set up a side hustle and you are in control of that. So if you want a session on that, drop us a comment and we'll do something like that. 100%. I would love to help people figure that out. Everyone's saying they would love that in the chat as well. Yes. Let's do that then. And Jay says London is expensive. Yeah, no, absolutely, Jay. No, I get that as well. Fair play to you though for exploring those options you just mentioned above. They're all legit options, and I promise you, no one cares if you've got a great YouTube channel. They're just going to think that makes you way more interesting. They're not going to go, "Oh, Jade's a YouTuber on the side and earns a load of revenue from that, so I'm not going to give her this job." Like, if you're right for the job, Jade, you are right for the job. Right, so we went off on a bit of a side hustle tangent then. Let me just go over to actonthis.tv. I'm just going to show you around. If you've not been on the site before, if you're completely new to this live stream, you don't know what Act On This is, it's a website I set up in 2010. Every week I sit down with the biggest agents, casting directors, actors, writers, directors, producers, the best names in TV, literally the biggest names in TV as well. And we host private member-only Zoom sessions where ultimately you get all the inside info on how you can, move your acting career forward way, 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 way faster. Last week we had, in my opinion, the best showreel producer in the UK on, Mr. Chris Stone, for our quarterly Showreel Surgery live session. Going to play out just a little preview of what you missed on that if you weren't there. But the full 2.5 hour replay is in the members area for you right now. And then the week before that we had top TV director Diarmuid Goggins on. I've got a couple of clips that I want to play out from that tonight as well. So I'll start with the Showreel Surgery clip. If you don't know how this works, this is where we get Act On This members to put their reel up for critique. They can go, listen, I want my reel looked at this week, and we'll do our best to make that happen. We choose 5 reels at random. Chris critiques them, and there's just always wicked talent on these Showreel Surgery sessions. You'll see some of the shows that some of our members are working on right now, and these are like international shows. There's some of the serial dramas in the UK, just some great, great work. And yet, no matter how great it is, there's always ways to make that reel a little bit better, and that's what I like about having Chris on. So if you missed it, here's a little bit of what you did miss. In my opinion, the #1 showreel producer in the UK, Mr. Chris Stone, back on Act On This. Chris, good evening. How are you?
As you know, we do a lot of day play scenes. And most of those are police. And now, finally, we've got complete costumes for male and female.
You've got this, which is kind of Bobby on the Beat kind of setup. We've got the high-vis accessories. You've been 3D printing these, right? Is that right?
You've got to make something look completely legitimate, as if it's been used in the real world.
Let's watch a new reel scene.
Platinum package, £75 a week. Videos and pics like you've just seen, and more.
In terms of casting type, and we'll talk about that a lot tonight, really understanding your casting type. Alan, in that scene there, that's perfect casting type. So Chris, let's look at the first show reel.
Send them to die for a fight that's not their own. Are you willing to die for your fight?
So what I'd say is start with the map reading scene, which is the second one, for me personally.
Because it's the closest one.
Most natural, it's well lit.
If I give him back, what will you give me in return?
You have interfered with my game with your black deeds and trickery, and now you dare to bargain with me.
It's very cool having Sean Connery in there, though, but it's not appropriate for your reel now.
I'm on my way to payroll now, as it happens, with the details for all this month's new appointments. As I thought. There is no Liam Kavanagh on the payroll here.
You've got all the right elements, it's just in the wrong order.
You think I'm the only one? The only trap? He made dozens of us.
The reveal is that it's a nasty piece of work, so it's great. So you get a reveal, a switch of character in one production. You really do only get one go at a first impression, so make sure the first time you send it out to somebody, it is the strongest it can possibly be.
actonthis.tv, get your membership if you want to unlock the full 2.5-hour replay. It is a banger of a replay, though. I know it's long, but you can see how much we cover there. We go into great depth in this quarterly Showreel surgery on costume. Chris is now 3D printing props and costume. That was a really interesting chat when it comes to really authentic costume pieces. And then we looked at some incredible reels there. You see people's work there, you know, people working on shows like Supernatural. We had Emmerdale in there. We had Sean Connery. We had the first reel with Sean Connery from one of our members. Some pretty old work, though, like Chris was saying. What a person to have on your show reel, but just not appropriate for a 2024 world. But, you know, when Sean Connery's on Showreel Surgery, you know you're dealing with some quality actors and actresses in the Acts on This community. So yeah, check that out. It's in the members area right now if you haven't seen it, and we will do another one of those by when is it? It's gonna be December, isn't it? It'll be like right towards the end of the year. It'll be the final Showreel surgery of 2023. But I love those sessions, and it's just amazing for you to see really what other members of the community are sending out to casting directors and agents. You can check where your material stands up if you think it competes, if it's good enough. Maybe you need to make some tweaks. You need to go and film some new stuff. They're just super interesting sessions. So let us know if you're here live. Let us know if you were there for that and what your biggest takeaway was, even if it was just Sean Connery being in a reel. Joe says, can you have two agents and show both on Spotlight? Joe, yeah, you can. So in the acting industry, I mean, you can have more than that. So generally speaking, you would have it'll depend on your contract. So you would have an acting agent that would normally rep you for acting, drama, the regular kind of work, theatre, TV, and commercials. But sometimes you will get agents that specialise in commercials. So they will have an acting department, or a drama department, or whatever you want to call it, and then they will have a commercial department. Sometimes they will rep actors purely for commercials. So if you had an agent that repped you on one side for drama, but they didn't rep you for commercials, and you wanted this other agent to rep you for commercials but not drama, that's a way you could have two agents. Other than that, a voiceover agent is always generally separate to an acting agent. I would never let my acting agent rep me solely for voiceover. If you want to work, at the top of the game in voiceover, you need a dedicated voiceover agent. I don't care how big some of the big agencies that are, acting agencies like United and Curtis Brown and, even like the big agencies like that, independent, they will rep their well-known actors for voiceover because I imagine they expect brands to go directly to them, say, hey, we want Sean Bean to be the voice of whatever. That's probably going to happen. But if Sean Bean wants to work on lots of voiceover, he would want a dedicated voiceover agent, I would imagine. That's how it's always worked for me, and it's worked miles better than, allowing my acting agents to take care of both. My acting agent will sometimes bring voiceover to the table. My voiceover agent will sometimes bring acting work to the table or presenting work. Sometimes we'll share commission, or they will just swap projects. That's happened in the past where my acting agent has brought a voiceover to the table, but I've said, listen, it's got to go through my voiceover agent. My voiceover has brought a presenting voiceover agents brought a presenting job to the table, and I've put that through my acting agent. Sometimes you've got to swap and change depending on what's in your contract. But that's, ultimately the answer is yeah, Joe, you can have more than one agent. It's totally fine, but you want to make sure that your agent you have at the moment is happy with that. Don't just go signing up with, loads of agents and not tell anybody, and then just end up with like 6 on your Spotlight. But no, it is fine and quite normal, particularly where commercials are involved. Because you said, oh, there you go. So you've just signed with a commercial-only agent. There you are. Perfect. Well, that's sound as a pound, Joe. Congrats. Nice. Hopefully you'll get loads of commercial work. Right, what is next on my list? I just wanted to say, I broke my pen. I just wanted to say thank you, by the way, to everybody who has left a Trustpilot review. If you're a member of actsonthis.tv, I've been asking people to leave reviews on Trustpilot, so they're verified reviews, so we know they're from actual members of the community. Basically, when you are a member, I can send you a verified link, and it means that they will show as a verified review on Trustpilot. If I go over to Acts on This again, I display these on the homepage and at various places. But just wanted to say thanks, because we hit a little milestone just tonight before I went live. We've hit 200 reviews, 200 5-star reviews. So we've got a Trustpilot rating of 4.9 out of 5. I don't know if you can get a 5-star rating completely, but I'll take 4.9 out of 5 basically. Over 200 reviews. If you've been on the fence about joining Acts on This, I mean, just go and read The reviews are here. You'll see the verified little tick next to them. These are all legitimate verified reviews. You can't have verified if if they've not come as customers. So you'll see basically how everybody just thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread. What's this one saying? David McCulloch Bell. Acts on This is without a shadow of a doubt the best acting platform, bless him, in the Western Hemisphere. David, are you here tonight? I'm just reading this for acting advice, acting knowledge, acting presentation, hosted by Ross Grant and his team of acting professionals, which include top casting directors, top agents, top directors, and top actors, male and female. Thanks, David. There you go. In the words of David, Acts on This is without a shadow of a doubt the best acting platform in the Western Hemisphere for acting advice. Need I say more? So thank you if you've left a review. I just wanted to say that. And if you've not and you want to leave a review, if you're a member, it'd mean the freaking world. Don't just go to the page and leave one. I want it verified. So if you could email me, ross@actonthis.tv, just put, hey, I'd love to do a review. I'll send you a proper link so we get a verified review. So it's not just some randomer that's just appeared on the page. I want everything to be verified. So if you are a member, you've enjoyed your experience so far, you want to write a review, that would mean the world. Drop me an email. But thank you for that. Next up on the list, what have I got? What's happening this week? So I'm gonna have to go over the bloody website again. Keep taking you over there. But if I go to the schedule, I've only managed to get the next 2 calls scheduled. I've got about the next 4 or 5 in the bag. I don't want to spoil the surprise though, particularly that one with Lewis Arnold. That will blow your mind. We're literally going to have potentially 2 of the biggest actors in the country on that one, along with Lewis, along with a top casting director, Lewis's editor, Sasha. It's probably going to be 5 guests on that session on the 12th of October. But equally as exciting, in 2 days, 22 hours and 8 seconds, as I'm live now, we're going to be live with performance capture and video game casting director Jessica Jeffries. Jessica did a session with us 2 years ago. She's one of the biggest casting directors to cast video games, voice acting and motion capture, where you basically put those suits on with the little balls all over them and you walk around and they capture your motion, you do all stunts and, all that physical kind of stuff so they can capture like real human movement for computer games. Jessica's cast some huge games recently, things like Peaky Blinders, the video game, a brand new game called Synced. You can see in the screenshot there that came out on the 8th of September, just a few days ago. And Jessica's going to be talking to us all about how video games have, evolved since she last spoke with us 2 years ago. So her entire casting process, how that has changed, how AI has changed the game a little bit. We'll be talking about those SAG-AFTRA strikes, I mentioned before, because the video game market, a lot of the stuff is done in conjunction with America, so that does have a little impact there as well. So we're going to talk all about that. We're going to talk about how you can get on Jessica's radar for video games castings, and just chatting everything basically to do with video games and performance capture. So that is this Thursday, the 14th of September, 7:30 p.m. exclusively for actsonthis.tv members. If you're not a member, go to actsonthis.tv/live. You can read all about what's coming up. Get a membership. It's the cheapest, most impactful thing I think you could buy for your acting career, to be honest with you. I pride myself on delivering, I genuinely, honestly believe, the best value in the acting industry. Everyone else is charging you, a minimum of 35 quid for a couple of hours for a workshop or whatever, for 35 quid. And that's sometimes even on Zoom, I'll give you roughly 14 hours of coaching with the biggest names in the game, plus an archive of over 200 hours of previous recordings with the biggest names in the game. Group coaching on a weekly basis, in-person and online networking events, an app, a 24/7 support forum. I mean, just everything for 27 quid a month. So 8 quid less than what most people are charging for one workshop. I'll give you 7 for less than what everyone else is charging you for one. It's a complete freaking no-brainer. So that's this Thursday. And then the following Tuesday, I'm so happy about this. We've got one of the biggest casting directors in the game coming back. Again, not been on the site for a couple of years. Kelly Valentine Hendry, casting director for Bridgerton, Queen Charlotte, The Bay, The Rig, Broadchurch back in the day. What else has Kelly been doing? The Last Kingdom, Gangs of London. Obviously, Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte are massive at the moment. So Kelly's going to be in the house on Tuesday. Again, talking about how you can get on her radar. Her team now, there's been a lot of updates. Some people have left the team, some people have joined the team. The project she's casting right now, how you get on her radar, how you can ultimately, get in there, make her aware you exist, impress her enough to get a self-tape or an in-person audition from Kelly and her team. And she's just bloody lovely. Like, Kelly has been so supportive of Acts on This. The first session I did with Kelly was a podcast probably about 11 years ago. She's one of the first people I ever interviewed, along with Victor Jenkins, when Kelly and Victor Jenkins, another incredible casting director, when they used to work together. Victor is also coming back on Acts on This in October. So 2 fantastic sessions ultimately coming up. actsonthis.tv/live. Get your membership if you've not got one already. You are hurting your career if you are not getting involved in this stuff. So that was the next thing on my list. Going to dive back into the Facebook comments, see what's going down on here. Who rated Acts on This 0.1 stars less? Alex, about 4 people I think gave me 4 out of 5 stars. So on average, over 200 reviews, it's knocked off 0.1. So I don't know how. I honestly, I've never seen a brand with 5 stars on Trustpilot. So I don't know. You would have to get the average up again, wouldn't you? I'd probably need another 50 reviews or something, and then maybe it'll just go up to 5. Because I don't know. But I'm happy with 4.9, man. I mean, we are number 1 on Trustpilot in the drama school section, in the performing arts section. No one beats us. No one has better reviews and a better Trustpilot score than Acts on This. So thank you, folks, for making that happen. Right, let's have a look. What else is going down in the chat? Anyone got any questions? Lolly says, did you see my message? No, Lolly. What have you done? Have you sent me a message, you mean, or a comment on here? Let me see. Facebook sometimes just put some past really quick. I can only scroll up a little bit. If you post it again, Lolly, if you've got access to copy and paste there or type it again, I will definitely answer it for you. Let's have a look. Satch is hoping to join these Zoom calls, but he's got to contend with his afternoon shift. Satch, don't worry, they are recorded. You know that, so you can always catch up the next day if necessary. So that's the next 2 calls out of the way. What else is on my list? Oh, I've not got a link for this. Let me sort this out. I wanted to also let you guys know about Actors Pro Expo. So there's nothing to do with me in terms of my event or anything like that. It's an event run by an awesome entrepreneur, businesswoman called Felicity. Felicity Smith, I think is a married name now. And Actors Pro Expo is coming back to the north Saturday, October the 28th. I'm going to be exhibiting there. I'm going to be taking actsonthis.tv to Actors Pro Expo because I actually initially launched Actors Pro Expo. No, didn't launch Actors Pro Expo. I launched Act on This at the first Actors Pro Expo event that they ever did in Manchester about, 13 years ago. It was called Surviving Actors back then, if anybody remembers it. But I'm going to be, exhibiting Acts on This at this event. So I'm going to be obviously there promoting Acts on This to all the actors that are going. But I'm also going to be hosting a seminar with head of Hollyoaks casting, Mr. Peter Hunt. So I wanted to show people who are part of the community how you can book a ticket for that. I think it's really cheap. I don't know the price. We'll find out now. Because I'd rather you got the tickets than just randomers, basically. So I think if you go to actorsproexpo.com, which is where we're at, let's have a look how we do it. If we go seminars, and let's see, I've not done this yet, but I want to show you how you can book your tickets. So this will show you all the seminars that are going on that day. If we just scroll down, you're going to see a picture, I'm sure, of me and Peter somewhere. Oh, hang on. Is this just a certain room that I'm looking at? There's more than this. See, this isn't right. This isn't right. Where's my session? Casting advice. Building improvisation. No. Oh yeah, there it is. No, I just scrolled past it, haven't I? It's there. Landing your next TV role fast, with or without an agent, with Hollyoaks casting director Peter Hunt, Acts on This founder Ross Grant. If you go there, you can click book now. Can you click book now? Let's have a look. It looked like it was greyed out. I hope there are still tickets left. Let's see. That's just right. So now we've got to go on here. Oh, maybe we have to find it again. Actors Pro Expo. Could have made this a bit easier. Individual seminar purchases. Maybe we have to scroll down again. There you go. Landing your next TV role fast. It's a tenner plus, what's that? A £1.55 fee. So it's $11.55. If you're in Manchester, 28th of October, go book a ticket I want it to sell out, and I'd rather you guys who, are part of the community, you already, you get your tickets before they do sell out. So let us know if you're going to be there. It's at the Royal Northern College of Music on Oxford Road in Manchester, 28th of October. And for those people who've never been to an Actors Pro Expo event before, they're really good. There's loads of, obviously, service providers there. There's basically loads of people trying to sell you stuff, but you don't need to go for that. Don't worry about that. Just get an Acts on This membership. But you'll see, headshot photographers, showreel producers, sites like myself, like Acts on This that offer actors services. Be careful who you give your money to, as always. There's always people after money that are over-promising and under-delivering. Do your due diligence on anybody, including myself, before you even get an Acts on This membership. If you want, go to IMDb and look at Ross Grant and look at the work that I'm doing. Look at my social media, see, what I'm up to, whether I'm working or not, which I am. And obviously look at, all the testimonials over on Trustpilot for Acts on This membership. But yeah, be careful who you give your money to. But there'll be lots of service providers. But then there's loads of seminars on through the day that, like you see, are quite inexpensive. Mine's going to be the best in it, obviously. So it's the only one you need to go to. But there'll be other interesting ones. There'll be other really, really good ones, I'm sure. There's some great people here in Manchester, I'm sure, that are going to be getting involved. So let us know if you're going to be there. And if you are there and you see me, please come and say hello. You won't be able to miss me. I'll have an Acts on This t-shirt on. I'm not got it printed yet, but I'm going to get the crew an Acts on This t-shirt. And if there's any actors in Manchester who are members of actsonthis.tv and you want to help promote Acts on This, I'm going to be looking to assemble like a small crew of people. I don't know how many I'm going to need. I might only need, 5 people or whatever. Just to basically put an Acts on This t-shirt on for the day. I'll buy you some food. We'll probably go out for a, bite to eat afterwards or something on me. And you just need to talk to actors all day about how great Acts on This is and help me, spread the word, get people signed up for memberships, etc. Should be a good laugh, though. Let me know. Just drop me an email, ross@actsonthis.tv, if you'd be up for helping out there. Like I say, I don't know how many people I'm going to need exactly yet, but if you are already based in Manchester, for example, you're going to be there, you want to hang out for the day and just promote Acts on This, that'd mean the world. The only problem with that would be that you might not get loads of time to go to the seminars. So if you want to go to the seminars, we could obviously juggle things around. But if you wanted to do a full day of seminars, obviously I would need you on the stand for some time, at least. So yeah, let us know. Right, let's have. Josh is going to be there. Yeah, because Josh, you won a ticket. I sent an email out and a Facebook post to everybody because Felicity was like, "Can you help me promote the competition?" And then Josh, you won it. I was well happy. I was like, "Yes," and Acts on This members won it. Wicked. So that's good. Right, Lolly, you've said you wrote your comment again. Let me find it. So, Lolly, here you go. So you said, I have autism, so my voice is affected. It doesn't express when happy or sad. So acting would be noticed. It's very monotone. So I feel I wouldn't be able to get anywhere because of this. It's interesting, Lolly, because I know a lot of people just in life, and that sort of my brother in particular. God, like he's very monotone. There are characters like that exist in the world ultimately. So that attribute, it's not going to lend itself to every character, Lolly, that you could play. But there will be people written into shows that's actually required. And for some people who are naturally very, up energy-wise and melodic in the way that they speak, and they're quite singy-songy, I can be a little bit like that. I'm quite high energy. My pitch and sort of tone of voice, can sometimes be quite up and down. I would find that quite hard if someone said to me, right, this character you're going to play, Ross, is really monotone. I'd find that quite difficult to actually play because naturally that isn't me. Whereas if that is naturally, you and you're happy with that and you'll embrace that, and you understand that, there's nothing wrong with that at all, then that would be a really appropriate attribute for a character that you're playing. So you would just have to align your natural attributes with who you're playing. And that's just what every actor does, Lolly. Like, ultimately, who you are going to play so much of the time is based on who you actually are. Like, in this day and age, particularly in TV, actors are very often, 9 times out of 10, playing a character very close to who they are. And that's how you get the best performances out of people. Michael Jackson said to me years ago, and I've said it 100 million times, he said to me, not the singer, the casting director, he said, particularly at the start of your career, Ross, you're going to get employed for who you are, not who you can be. because they want to cast authentically. They want to cast people who are as close to that character as possible. So embrace it. It doesn't mean that you wouldn't work at all. Like, it definitely doesn't mean that. There's going to be some roles you're suitable for and some you're not, like everybody. But that certainly doesn't have to be a block in your career. And that goes for anybody living with anything that makes them different in their opinion. So I'm visually impaired. That doesn't mean that, I can't play any roles, that, are... Ultimately, it doesn't mean that it limits me to just that. I can obviously bring visual impairment to characters that have to be visually impaired in a way that nobody else who has 20/20 vision could. I can just about get by playing a sighted character at the moment. My eyes it's a degenerative condition, so it's going to get worse. So there might come a point where I just can't blag it anymore. But even when that's the case, Lolly, I'm not going to go, oh, well, I'm never going to act again, because there will be characters written that are visually impaired or require that kind of element of performance. And if there's not, I'm going to write them myself. I'm going to give myself work, because by then, hopefully, I will have met enough people and know enough people in this industry to make that a reality. So, there can be you are going to be the only thing that stops you from acting, ultimately. Because even if you can't get in other people's projects just yet, you can create your own. You can get together with friends. You can still do this without permission from anybody else. So embrace it. Thanks for the question. I'm sure everybody's got their thing that they feel is going to hold them back, and it just isn't the case. You are the only thing getting in the way there. If you're already arguing for your own limitations, we mustn't do that, because the world will argue for your limitations for you. You can't be the one at the front going, let me just tell everybody why this isn't going to work. You have to be the one shouting about why it will work and why you can do it. You really, everybody, you should not be arguing for your own limitations before you've tried something or gone out there and, really giving it a shot, because it will just stop you from taking any action at all. Jay said, hey Ross, just wondered, with the membership in the weekly coaching, do you look at people's spotlight? Yeah, I feel definitely need someone to look over it. So what we do, Jade, every other Friday, we do something called Rapid Fire Friday, which is where you can jump on between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. And me and producer Petch, community manager Lee Petcher, who manages the community with me, we jump on, and for an hour we will take questions from the audience. We normally get like 40 people or so showing up to that. If you wanted to have a little quick look over your spotlight, we would bring it up on the screen. Other people in there can have their input. But there's also on the community, if you get a membership to Act on This, let me show you. You get 24/7 access to a private community. So we have a Facebook group that's public. You might even be watching this in our Facebook group. But because I know there are some sensitive questions people don't want to put on Facebook, we have this premium community here. I'll scroll very, very quickly so people can't kind of read if there is sensitive stuff. But this is ultimately like a private... I'll get off that quick. A private message board that's open to you 24/7, basically. And me and Petch are in there every single day answering questions. So if you wanted to link to your spotlight within that, we would also get to you that way and be able to give you feedback there as well. But if you join the sessions live, I mean, God, we talk all about Spotlight with every casting director, every agent we get on. And I've even got, I don't know the exact date yet, but the Success Manager, that's her title, at Spotlight, coming on to do a session with us on how you should be utilizing your Spotlight profile. Because I think even myself, I've been in the industry a long, long time, work a lot, but I know I could be using my Spotlight profile more efficiently. There are new things that have come up on Spotlight profiles that people don't know about, aren't using. I mean, just last week, they opened up this talent finder section where basically if you've not got an agent, you can turn this on your profile, and it means that agents can then see actors who are looking for representation. It's definitely got its teething issues right now, but, hopefully they will make it even better. But there's definitely things that I know that, we could be doing better when it comes to Spotlight profiles. So, yeah, we could look at that for you. And, if you join that session with Mel from Spotlight, then, we'll do a real deep dive. We'll probably use mine as an example, and Mel can tear it apart. Because I'm happy for mine to be torn apart. She'll go, right, Ross, you're not utilising this, you're not utilising this, you should be doing this. So yeah, ultimately the answer is yes. We will help you out there, definitely. Because you said you think you need someone to look at it, because you're not getting auditions. Absolutely, honestly. There'll be some really obvious reasons as well. Getting auditions, I swear to God, is quite formulaic. I've spent what have I spent now in terms of there's probably 500 hours worth of interviews on actonthis.tv that are current, but I've spent 40,000 hours talking about this to casting professionals over the last 13 years. And when you've spoken that long with that many people, there are just some absolutely obvious things that are so obvious I think a lot of actors overlook them. I'm pretty certain within a few minutes I could look at your Spotlight profile and tell you what's wrong. Just be prepared to not... I will never sugarcoat stuff, or like, there's no point in me dressing anything up. I'll just be like really, really honest with people. And sometimes when it comes to reels and stuff like that, sometimes it just means like literally starting again, almost, when it comes to your reel, headshots, congruency between the two, the kind of roles you're being seen for, the kind of roles you want to be seen for, and then looking at the material you're using to be seen for those roles. So many actors' casting type is completely opposite what they're showing on their showreel and in their headshots. They want to ultimately act in their headshots and play against type to prove they can act. The same in their reel. They're not embracing who they actually are and the roles that they're going to get right now. A lot of new actors think they're going to walk straight into line of duty, that their reels are completely wrong. They're not going to get the entry-level jobs because their reels are wrong. They're not going to get line of duty because they've got no jobs yet. So you can just break it down really, really simply. Like, we should probably do some... Just don't know how you scale it, because it takes a long time. We should do some sort of session where... I don't know if members can maybe book in, I don't know, even just like a 10 or 15 minute slot to have their Spotlight profile looked at by me or Petch. It's just so difficult to scale that because it takes so long. You could probably fit 4 people in an hour, but while we're doing everything else that we're doing, it's just really, really difficult. So there probably have to be a extra cost into sort of a 1-to-1 with that. But if you did it on a Rapid Fire Friday, Jade, that's just part of your membership. That's absolutely fine. Or posted it in the forum. We could figure that out for you. No problem. And if I did it or Petch did it, you're getting the benefit of basically, I don't know, 200 casting directors' opinions that we already know. If you went to somebody else to do it, you're only going to get one person's opinion. I can basically give you such a rounded opinion because I've spoken to everybody. Whereas a casting director would go, in my opinion, you should change this and this. But I could go, well, actually, that casting director might like that, but I know 10 over here that say that's not what you do. So why don't we do something that's kind of going to appeal to both? So it's an interesting one, definitely. But that's something that we can maybe look at, at some point, sort of doing some sort of session where people can book in, like, for a small fee to have a bit more of a of a 1-to-1 on that kind of thing. I'll talk to Petch, see if he's got time. At the moment, we're so slammed, it's ridiculous. We're doing 5 live broadcasts a week at the minute, but we'll figure something out. Spotlight surgery, says Alex. Yeah, like showreel surgery, but spotlight surgery. I mean, we could do it on a live call like that, but we'd only be able to focus on like 5, and then everybody else would have to take all of the tips and tricks from that and apply it to their own spotlight profile. That would be doable. It's just giving a 1-to-1 with everybody. That would be, quite impossible on those sessions. But we shall see, definitely. Right, let's have a look. Nick says you can have a yearly checkup on your Spotlight profile through Spotlight themselves. I mean, that's cool. If they're going to give you something like that for free, it might be worth having a look at. As I say, it's just sort of like, it's getting just one person's opinion. I think sometimes can be quite dangerous, though. If they're not, I don't know, if they're not really, really experienced. I was going to say something then that was I had a good idea there. When you think of something and then you lose it. I'll remember it in a minute. But if that's a freebie, that's definitely worth taking up anyway, because you might just get one thing from there that you want to implement that could make all the difference for you. I mean, I think all I was going to say is what is worth doing just for everybody. Again, if you're a member of Acts on This, you've got access to the archive. Just because we talk about it in literally every session, how you should have your spotlight, what you should have on your spotlight. If you just scroll down in the members area to sessions with agents, you'll see all how agents basically, there's 20 sessions with agents there, great agents. And there's probably, how many sessions have we got with the biggest casting directors in the industry? There's probably, what have we got? 40. So there's 80 hours of just casting directors talking about, how you get on their radar and how you should set out your spotlight, your showreel, your headshots, everything. I just picked a random one there with Aisha Bywaters. I want to meet you, said Aisha. There's an hour and 37 minutes with Aisha just talking about that. So it's worth, just to get a rounded opinion. I know it's going to take time, but watching every session back, if you're not already a member, go and watch all of these sessions. Put some earphones in. We give you access to the podcast version. You don't have to watch the video. Walk the dog and listen to this. And then when you've listened to 10, then go and work on your Spotlight profile, because you're going to hear some commonalities between sessions where they're like, this, everybody thinks that's a good idea. And then you might hear like the odd thing that one person likes but another person doesn't. When you've got a rounded opinion, you're going to make your Spotlight profile appeal to more people, I think. So it's useful hearing a few opinions rather than just going to one person and saying, look at my Spotlight, what do you think? Because what they think might, they might be the 1 out of 10 that thinks that. The other 9 out of 10 think something different. So just bear that in mind. Right, okay, so what else have I got to talk about? Actors Pro Expo, I've done it. Yeah, make sure you go and book those tickets on Actors Pro Expo. Sell that seminar out for me. Make me look good. Don't make me look daft in front of Felicity where she's like, Ross, you've sold no tickets for your seminar. It's me and Peter Hunt. Peter is the head of Hollyoaks casting and head of casting at Line Pictures. Casts a lot of Line Pictures Netflix shows as well. And he's one of the best casting directors in the game, one of the nicest guys in the game. And he's always on the lookout for new talent, and he's super, super, super supportive. So be there, be in that room. Honestly, you'll enjoy it. What else have I got here? Last thing on my list was, to tease you about the Lewis Arnold broadcast, but I've already kind of done that. On the 12th of October, one of the best directors in the country, Lewis Arnold. He's got a brand new show out that comes out in September, I think in a few weeks' time, called The Long Shadow. It's based on Peter Sutcliffe and the Yorkshire Ripper. Incredible drama. I think it's an 8-part drama. It's got like just the creme de la creme of British acting talent in there. And Lewis is going to be joining us for a round table on the 12th talking about The Long Shadow. But it's going to be with Lewis. I don't want to spoil it all. It's going to be with Lewis, two very famous actors, a very, very well-known casting director, Lewis's editor, Sasha, who Lewis always works with to edit all of his TV shows, and maybe some other random guests who will just sort of drop in and drop out. But we've got 5 sort of guests who will be on the session permanently. Maybe we'll have some special guests dropping in and out. But that's happening on the 12th of October. Going to be very, very, very special. So keep an eye out for that new drama as well. Honestly, the names that are in it are just insane. And see if you can guess who might be joining us. But you can let me know closer to the time. I'm sure you'll see the trailers for it coming out very, very soon. Let's have a look. Right, let's do some Q&A. Got 5 minutes of Q&A. Let me just see if I've missed anything in the comments here. Lolly says, how do you get on Spotlight? So, Lolly, you basically, to get on Spotlight, you need 1 professional acting credit. That is it now. All of the criteria has changed. It used to be 4. So you need 1 paid professional acting credit, effectively, or you need to be signed with an agent who is registered with Spotlight. An agent who is registered with Spotlight can put you on Spotlight literally the same day. So it's so much easier to get on Spotlight today than it has ever been. It's never been easier to get on Spotlight. It used to take some people, like I would be coaching them for a year to get those 4 credits before they could get on Spotlight. Now people literally need to just sign with an agent and they're on. So that would be the fastest way to do it, basically, would be to sign with an agent that's registered to Spotlight. Or I think even a recommendation from a casting director that's registered with Spotlight as well. If you have a look, if you search for Spotlight joining criteria, you'll find the page that explains it all to you. But it's simpler than ever before. Definitely. So let's have a look. Josh, you're doing your show on the 12th of October, mate. The replay will be up the next day. It's going to be an absolute banger, though. 100%. What you're saying there, Satch, you need to have a first TV credit. So it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be TV. I think Alex has said that. It can be professionally paid theatre or film as well. I don't think it can be commercials. It just needs to be a professional, as Alex says there, contracted job. But I don't think it has to be. It doesn't have to be TV. It could be a professional theatre gig or a film as well. Any other questions? Any more? Let me know if you've got anything that you think I can help you with, and we'll wrap it up in a minute. It's gone fast, hasn't it? It's just because I waffle for so long, but at least the connection's been good tonight. Last week, I think you lost me. Well, I lost you for a few minutes because Vodafone decided to blow the internet up at my house. So at least we're good on that this evening. Nick says commercials, don't count, unfortunately. Neither do short films. Yeah, it's just feature films, TV, theatre. Feature film, TV, or theatre. Let us know if anyone else has got anything else going on. And who's going to join us? Who wants to work in video games, by the way? So it's an area that we've only ever explored with Jessica once, 2 years ago. So I'm well looking forward to Thursday night as well, talking about video games for the first time in ages. There's quite a few members of ActsOnThis.tv who have done some big games. There was a member called, I think you pronounce her name Devra. I say Devora, but it's Devra, I think. Devra Wild, I think, was her surname when she was a member of ActsOnThis.tv. She's just done a game called Baldur's Gate and did motion capture and the voice for a character in Baldur's Gate, and the fans have gone crazy for it. And now I'd noticed on Devra's Twitter before, she's going to like Comic-Con style stuff and signing autographs and stuff and doing meet and greets and things like that because the game's a really popular one. So that's a great extra revenue stream because I'm sure when you go to Comic-Cons, Chris Stone's a big Comic-Con geek, isn't he, who does the showreels with us. I'm sure when he's had pictures with people at Comic-Con, it's like 20 quid, 30 quid a picture or something like that. So like what a great revenue stream to go to a Comic-Con because you had fun doing a computer game, people want pictures with you and you can charge 15, 20 quid for them. So yeah, I think video games is definitely something to explore. Josh said he would love to get into games. I would as well. It's an area I do loads of animation, but I've done no computer games. I did the Harry Potter computer games back in the day. I played Draco Malfoy and Neville Longbottom in I think the PlayStation 2 or 3 version of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban because our voice matched in pitch. That was interesting. They didn't use the actual famous actors to do the voices in those games, the early games. I presume they do now. But yeah, I was Draco and I was Neville Longbottom. It's a bit of trivia for you there. And I also did the quiz game Buzz with Jason Donovan. That was another PlayStation 2 classic, I think. Indra's up for video games. Lolly says video games. Jade's up for video games. Honestly, it seems like a really cracking industry. Jerry says, oh my God, I've been on IMDb past 5 years with about 3 credits and waiting to get a chance to apply. Oh, thank God. Yeah, Jerry, you can get on Spotlight now. Boom. Yes. Excellent. Well, there you go. Thank God you tuned in. Excellent. There you go. We've made a difference to someone's career tonight. There you go. Get on Spotlight. Absolutely. You only need 1 credit. You've been waiting, bless you, for that 1 extra credit for ages. And you don't need it now. So yeah, Spotlight was bought by Casting Network. Spotlight used to be a family-run business. Then it got bought by the American company Casting Networks, and since then, I think, it's a business now, isn't it? Casting Networks obviously need to recoup money, and I think they've gone, right, cash flow, let's drop the criteria down and let people in. And sometimes, at the beginning, actors sort of like had a bit of backlash against that. Oh, they're letting anybody in now. I'm like, so? If you're threatened by someone who's got 1 credit and you think you're a great actor with loads to offer, if you're threatened by that, you need to have a word with yourself. I don't care if they let 1 million people on a spotlight. I'll make sure I'm in the top 1% because I will work hard enough to be in the top 1%. Simple as that. Like, it doesn't matter how many people are on it. So yeah, don't worry. I'm all for letting people just do what they want. So yeah, get yourself in there. That'd be awesome. And you put yes, a miracle. Gave up. Don't give up. There you go. You were meant to be here this evening. Definitely. Right. Well, folks, thanks so much for being here. Oh, £400 Face paid for a photo and an autograph for someone huge at Comic-Con. Wow. Who was it for 400 quid, Faye? Or do you not want to say? 400 quid. You can have a photo with me for £4. No, 40p. That's crazy. 400 quid. Wow. Well, you know what? If they're your icon, I would have paid 400 quid back in the day. When I was a kid, Michael Jackson was such a massive influence in my life. I'd have paid 400 quid to have a photo, with my icon back in the day. Jerry says, lacked courage pushing myself, but I love the craft so much. You're so right. Thank you endlessly. Yeah, Jerry, get on it. If you're not part of Acts on This, come and join the community as well. ActsOnThis.tv. We hang out with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV every week and help you push your career forward with courage. We do a lot of mindset, an awful lot of mindset to help people take action. Right, folks. Well, thank you so much. I've got a piece of... I said I was going to play some Diarmuid Goggins pieces out tonight. I'm going to play a little piece out on, this is from our mastermind session for members just 2 weeks ago. Diarmuid Goggins, a top TV director, works on some of the biggest shows out there. He was talking in the session, I thought really interesting, about actors thinking they have to be perfect. I think so many actors put pressure on themselves when they go on set or they're shooting a showreel or whatever, where they're like, every line has to be perfect. And they want to get it in one take. The beauty of TV is obviously you can make up the edit of multiple takes. So you might want to get it perfect in one take, but don't put so much pressure on yourself. If you can get it right in 2 takes, in 3 takes, and they can be stitched together, you can still come out with an incredible performance, and the audience will think you did it in 1 take. So this is a clip about that. I love Diarmuid. He's such a straight talker. He just says it as it is. So I'm going to end on this clip now. And hopefully, I will see you guys Thursday night with Jessica Jeffries talking all about video game casting, and then with Bridgerton casting director Kelly Valentine Hendry the Tuesday after. If you want to watch the full session with Diarmuid, I think it's 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It's in the members area right now as well. But it's just a little bit to end on not being perfect. Love to you all. Let's have an amazing week, and I will catch up with you very, very soon. All right, until next time, bye for now.
Sometimes the actor looks at the scene and goes, okay, from the start of the scene to the end of the scene, I have to be perfect all the time. And you're like, that's a great ambition, but you don't have to be all the time. Okay, that changes if it's a one, or if it's a one shot and we're pushing in, then yes, it is have to be perfect from end to end. But most of the time there's a cut and there will be editing on this. I kind of go, the first take, let's try this. Second take, let's try that. When I do take 5 and I go, okay, on this one, what we're going to do is we're going to go a bit crazy, and I want you to kind of just do it completely like as if you're, Kathy Bates style manic. And if someone go, what? But I'm, the scene reads as I'm low and down and, just found out this really horrendous. No, that's not going to work. And you're like, you know what? You might be right. It might not work. But you know what? It fucking might work. And if it does work, we're going to get something really special. And if only one line works or one look works, I can edit that into the scene. And sometimes I forget that, they'll kind of get to take 3 and go, I still haven't done and I'll go, you did in take 1. You did this beautiful thing in take 1. We have it. It's there. And they're like, oh, no, I need one more. And you're like, okay, you can do one more, but I'm really fucking happy. I think you got this. And let's try one more if we can. Sometimes I don't have the time and I can't go there, but let's try one more.